very important to keep thinking global and keep growing and keep doing business as we knew it and as we are used to doing it. I would like to thank His Excellency Ambassador Utreras for his hard work and cooperation on this event. And I'm also glad to welcome today the representative of Startup Chile, Mr. Juan Diego Acuña. And we will hear more from him about the programs that Startup Chile offers. And also we will hear from one of the alumni, Maria Hahn from the Nutrix startup, originally from Poland, I believe, all the way through Switzerland to Chile. It's a great story and a very interesting company that she works for and she built. And I can't wait to the moment that she shares more with you. A little bit organizational things, because there is a lot of us. First of all, please be informed that the event is being recorded, and try to stay muted as much as possible. And when I'm not speaking, I'm gonna try to remember it myself. To be interactive, as we are not in one room, but we still want to encourage interaction. Please use the chat function of Microsoft Teams. Feel free to write down whatever question you might have throughout the event. We will have a Q&A session at the end, but feel free to use it anytime in any language you want. Well, try to stick to Czech, English, or Spanish. And last organizational things, all the presentations that you're gonna see today are gonna be shared after the event is over. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor or the screen to His Excellency Ambassador Utreras to say a couple of introductory remarks and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Dobrý den, good morning, buenos días. I would like to start by obviously thanking the Americas Department of the Ministry of Industry and Trade for hosting this second seminar about the startup program in collaboration with Startup Chile, Juan Diego Acuña, and with one of the program's graduate, Maria Hahn from Switzerland and Poland. I want to also congratulate the efforts of the Ministry of Trade for identifying an impressive number of participants, of Czech entrepreneurs looking for opportunities to develop and internationalize your business in Chile. And I want to congratulate also the participants in the seminar for making a right decision on how to spend the next 1 hour and a half of your time. I think it's a wise investment, and it's a wise investment because by the time we close the seminar, I assure you that you will have a very clear idea, a very clear picture of the great opportunities that our country offers for the development of your business. And but why are we doing this? I mean, why is the Chilean government offering to support foreign entrepreneurs? Why are we giving financial support, mentoring, training to foreign companies? Why? Well, the main purpose for doing this apparently crazy idea is to strengthen our entrepreneurial environment and business innovation culture by connecting our business community with innovative entrepreneurs and companies from all over the world. This, in these times when vaccination is very popular, this is an injection, but this is an injection of diversity energy, and new ideas for our business ecosystem. This is why we're doing this. We want you, all of you, to be to bring to our country your innovative spirit to influence our business community. And I know very well, even in this time of pandemic, how much innovative talent there is in Czech among Czech entrepreneurs. And I think that's why I think there is a huge potential for you to get into this program. And as ambassador of Chile, of course, it is also my hope that the economic relation between Chile and the Czech Republic will benefit if some Czech innovators as yourself could go to our country to scale up your businesses. And in the process, as I said, you may become an inspiration for the Chilean business environment. And so, with much further ado, let me wish you all an informative and very productive seminar.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for inspiring words. And now, without further ado, I would give the floor or the screen, however you want to call it, to Juan Diego and to Startup Chile.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon over there to everyone. Thanks, Mr. Ambassador, for those wise words. I'll try to keep up with that invitation and see where we can go from here. I'm going to share my screen, and I just want you to let me know when you can see it.
All good, we can see it.
Yes. All right, awesome. So I'm just going to introduce myself again. My name is Juan Diego Acuña. I'm currently the scouting manager here at Startup Chile. My job is basically two different tasks. I scout, just like when we were kids and we were scouting. I look for startups that will add value to our portfolio and invite them to apply to our programs. And at the same time, I'm in charge of the whole process of selection for those great startups that can finally come to Chile and impact to our economy. I'm going to give you a quick overview about our programs, about what Startup Chile is, what we have done in the past 10 years, and where we are now. And then we're going to go through the specific criteria to apply, the programs itself, and what we can offer you as a Startup Chile, and finally as Chile as a country. Just to put you in a context, Startup Chile was created in 2010, and 2010 was a very particular year in the Chilean history and also in the world. We were not only going through an economical and social crisis, which was massive, but we were also and just had one of the strongest earthquakes in history in 2010. Actually, I'm from Concepcion, which is one of the cities that got hit the most in the earthquake. And just to give you a funny story, I didn't have hot water for 2 months. I didn't have gas, and it took us maybe 5 or 6 months to go back to normal life. But at the same time, and in those years, there were some interesting things that were happening in the world. We had examples such as Silicon Valley, maybe Israel or Singapore, in which the greatest and most ambitious businesses were being accelerated. And they were not only surviving those crises, but they were thriving in the middle of those crises. Some examples such as WhatsApp, Airbnb, Dropbox, or Uber were some startups that didn't only survive, but they were thriving. Therefore, we ask ourselves who was in charge of this revolution in business and the economy. And we realized that it's actually the tech entrepreneurs that were funding startups and creating these high impact businesses that were not only surviving, but thriving. And to understand what was happening here in Chile, you probably know a little bit about Chile. You maybe know about us because of soccer. We're pretty famous for that, but also we're famous for mining. Maybe you saw the movie of the 33 miners that were stuck in the mine. Maybe you have eaten a salmon from the southern Chile, or maybe you have had a couple of cups of wine from Chile. Maybe some apples in the supermarket or other products that are very traditional without a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. In 2010, we wanted to disrupt this and set this entrepreneurial mindset revolution in order to embrace these technologies and these innovations. This is why we say that we have our disruption in our DNA, and we want to switch and help in this diversification of the economical matrix in Chile. Therefore, Startup Chile was created. We're the first public accelerator in the world. And actually, more than 30 other nations replicated the same public policy. Some of them replicated the same program, such as Startup Peru, for example, and other places replicated the public policy and the same methodology that we apply for those entrepreneurs, and in order to bring that high-end talent into the country. Also, we are the best startup accelerator in the region, and we're known to be one of the top 10 accelerators globally. Just to put you in context, here we compete against private accelerators. They make money, they take equity out of the business, and they accelerate you, and they want to create big businesses. We want to do the same, but we're not taking equity from the business. We do this because we want to impact the Chilean economy and create those high-end entrepreneurs. Therefore, I can tell you what do we finally do. And of course, we accelerate startups to reach that high potential and hopefully get that successful sooner or later. But what do we accelerate? What is finally a startup? We consider that a startup is a tech-based entrepreneurship that solves a global problem through innovation and that uses that technological base in order to scale as quick as possible. Those businesses leverage from technology in order to reach that scalability and finally have that impact that we're looking for. Impact not only in the world, but in our economy and finally in the business itself. I'm going to quickly give you the main pillars of our methodology, and when I explain you the 3 programs, I'll go in depth in order to tell you finally what services we can provide to you as a Startup Chile. Very quickly, we offer resources. We offer a fund, an investment in cash that is free equity money. That's very important. That is taken from the taxpayers of Chile. Therefore, again, it's free equity money. We offer a space to work, and we offer an acceleration program. Very similar to other accelerations program in the world. We believe that it's a better acceleration program, but it has different opportunities and different events that might be mandatory and optional. We offer connections. That is very important. Here in Chile, we know that it's a small market. Therefore, we can leverage from that small market because we know all the stakeholders that participate here in this small market and can be seen as a place to start and grow from Chile to the rest of the market here in Latin America and then to the world. We also offer a soft landing program here in Chile. We offer a one-year work visa, and we accompany the startup through this whole process in order to get to Chile, get your Chilean ID, open your bank account, open your business bank account, and then try to be at the same level as the rest of the startups at day one in the process. And also, and of course, we have a huge community. It's been 10 years since we started doing this. Therefore, we have accelerated more than 2,000 startups, and we have accompanied more than 5,000 entrepreneurs that have finally come to Chile, gathered here, and created this huge network. Just to let you know a little bit about the times, we're very close to an application process, which is going to start in the 28th of April. The process should last in between 3 or 4 weeks. So the end might be on May 11th. Probably will extend for a week. And then we're going to take in between 1 to 1.5 months in order to get the results. We try to be very picky and we try to select the best startups. And usually from 700 to 800 applications, we go down to 70 to 80 startups that we will finally accelerate. Results will be shown in the 28th of June. And finally, the program is going to start on the 9th of August. Actually, our last program just started last week. And this morning, they are having their first event that is called the Intro Day, in which the whole generation of startups gathers in a meeting. They show their pitch and they have the kickoff of the program. But why would we choose Chile to come and do business? Why would we go to the end of the world? And why would we see this opportunity as a good opportunity to develop our business? Not only because we, of course, and you probably know, we're a beautiful country. We have all the climates that you can have in the world. We have the desert in the north. We have very cool landscape in the south. We have all the rivers, all the lakes, the mountains, the sea. You can surf, you can snowboard. There's a lot of things to do, but also there is a cool place to do business. And this is because Chile is an excellent lab in order to try out. As I said, we're a small market, but it's a cool place to try it out and scale from Chile to the rest of Latin America. We're considered to have and to be one of the leaders on digital connectivity. We have the technology 5G, so we're pretty modern in that sense. Our public policies strongly support entrepreneurship, not only Startup Chile, but maybe after you graduate from Startup Chile, there are going to be different opportunities to keep leveraging from those government funds and keep growing. We have also significant global agreements, commercial agreements that are going to help you scale from Chile to other countries that maybe have those commercial agreements. Therefore, it's going to be easier to export your technologies, and finally to create businesses abroad. And also, and most importantly, we have a cool program in terms of soft landing, in which you can easily come from other countries, settle in Chile, and start your business here, and then grow to the rest of the region. Therefore, we don't really care about where the entrepreneurs come from, but we do care about where they want to go and finally what they want to achieve. We are known to be agnostic to nationalities. We don't care where, again, the entrepreneurs come from. We have accelerated people from more than 85 countries, and we're also agnostic to industry. This is very important because we will accelerate businesses in different industries, always and knowing that it is actually a startup. And we are ready for that, and we try to be prepared to accelerate businesses from all the main industries. So let's check out the programs. What can I offer you finally, and what programs are available to come to Chile? We have 3 programs nowadays. We have Build, Ignite, and Growth. We're trying to go big, right? To build something from an idea, to ignite that solution and validate the market, and finally to growth and scale to another markets. Depending in which phase of development your startup is, we're going to have different programs that will align with your necessities in the different lifetime or space in which you are from your startup. Transversal 2 or 3 programs. We have a program that we just created, we're just launching, that is called the Female Founder Factor, in which we will try to support female founders in our 3 different programs. Before, and for 12 generations, we used to have a program that was called the Seed Factory, or TSF. This was a program that was, instead of Build, at the bottom of the acceleration funnel that we want to call, and we only accelerated female founders with an idea, and the goal of that program was to get to an MVP. Now we switch that criteria and we open it for male founders, but we are sticking to the idea that we have to support female founders, and we develop this Female Founder Factor in order to help them in our 3 different programs and our whole acceleration funnel. At first, we have our Build program, which is a pre-acceleration program for early stage startups. Over here, at least 50% of the startups has to be led by female founders. And we're looking for those startups that are from an early stage prototype to a validated MVP. We're giving them a 4-month acceleration program with a first investment ticket of around 13,000 American dollars, that in which you can get an extension of another 5,000 to 6,000 American dollars, depending on the currency change, of course. We have 2 cohorts per year. This means that we open applications twice a year, and that we have 2 generations that start each year. We just started in March, and we're going to start again in August. And we accelerate in between 50 to 60 startups per cohort in this Build program. A little bit about the criteria in order to apply. Of course, the team leader, who is the entrepreneur, has to be older than 18 years old. you have to have exclusive dedication to the startup. This has to be your full-time job because we believe that entrepreneurs have to be entrepreneurs 24/7. Of course, the company must be tech-based with a scalable solution. And very importantly, the company must have been created at least 12 months ago. 12 months ago before the applications opens. This is very important because we want to reach for those early stage startups, and we believe that that is a key component in order to identify those early stage startups. Nowadays, right now, because the borders are open, we're asking the team leader to settle in Chile, to come here and run the program here in Chile. And if you get the extension, you of course must stay in Chile until you get the whole expenditure of that money that you will get. And this is very administrative. The team leader cannot change the application once it is completed. Therefore, we have a second program that is called Ignite. In here, we're looking and we are having an acceleration program itself, and we're looking for startups with a functional product and an early validation. In here, there is a basic criteria that we will only accelerate the startups that already have a functional prototype. Therefore, we're looking for startups that are from a functional prototype to a product market fit reach. We also are having this 4-month acceleration program, but the ticket of investments goes from 32 to 33,000 American dollars. And if you get the extension, you're going to get again the same amount, having the possibility to get funding up to 65,000 American dollars. Again, we have 2 cohorts per year, and we usually accelerate in between 20 to 30 startups per cohort, twice a year. Again, we started a generation now in March, and we will start another generation in August. It's basically the same criteria to apply. The only thing that changes is that if you apply as a company, the team leader has to have at least 10% of the equity of the company, and the company must have been created at most 3 years before the applications open, because we're looking for those startups that are in that phase of development, that are from that validated MVP into that product market reach. And again, the administrative criteria, you have to settle in Chile. If you get the extension, you have to stay in Chile in order to spend that grant, and the team leader cannot obviously change the application after it is completed. And finally, we have our newest program, which is called Growth. It is our biggest program. It is also an acceleration program, and we're looking for that scaling. We're looking for the expansion and consolidation of those innovative tech-based businesses that can finally thrive and grow into new markets. This is a 12-month acceleration program. We're funding with 78,000 American dollars, having 2 cohorts per year also from 10 to 15 startups. But here we're looking for a 50% co-funding. This means that Startup Chile invests $78,000, and the startup has to put on the table another $78,000 in order to co-create a work plan for around $150,000. Again, this doesn't mean that we take equity from the business or we take any money from the business. It means that we want to co-create and help you with a bigger plan, because we are seeking and we're trying to help those startups that are mainly in 3 different stages, that they already raised some capital, maybe through a VC or angel investor or crowdfunding, or however they have the possibility to raise capital. They are looking to raise some capital, and we can help you in the process with our services, or they have enough liquidity in order to co-create and finally co-fund this program. A little bit about the criteria here. We don't care about the elderly of the startup. It can be very old or very young, but we are looking for, and we want to identify those startups that are in the scale phase. Therefore, we're looking for startups that are selling in between 80 million and 800 million Chilean pesos, which should be in between $100,000 and $1 million. Again, the team leader has to have 10% of the equity of the business. You have to have exclusive dedication to the program and to the company. The team leader must be in Chile for the program. And here, very importantly, the business needs to have something in Chile, not necessarily sales, but maybe some insights, maybe some potential users, maybe some free users of the platform, if there are a platform, or whatever information we can get in order to know that Chile is an interesting market and there is also actually possibilities in order to get here. This is why we invite you to think big, to build, to ignite and grow with us, and finally to have a good permanency and have a good experience with our programs. As I said, transversal to our 3 programs, we have the female founder factor, because we basically understand that women play a key role in the business formula, and this is why we want to enhance that female entrepreneurship, and we're going to do that across our whole acceleration program, and we'll do it through community, through talent, through academy, through the acceleration process itself, through the ecosystem, and through the media, in order to put the female founder at the center, create the gender parity in the whole pillars of the acceleration program, and obviously get help, because we need that help from those 12 generation, as I said, of our TSF, the seed program, in which we have those awesome female founders that can help you and that can give back to the community and help you finally create this female founder factor. This is actually a cool picture of our last Seed Factory program, in which roughly 19 to 20 female founders graduated from our program and finally got their MVP ready to go to market. So let's check finally our offer. What do we offer, and what are the services that we can provide you as a Startup Chile? As I said, it starts with resources. We give you that free equity money in the different, of course, amounts in the different programs, which is gathered from those taxes from the Chilean payers. I'll explain in a little bit how that makes sense and why this crazy experiment actually works, and we have lived the last 10 years and we will continue living. We also offer a free co-working space. You'll have access to our exclusive co-work here in downtown Santiago. It's a pretty cool place. People gather there. It is actually open right now, obviously always using a face mask. Usually on Fridays we have beer, so it's a pretty cool place to hang, to meet the other entrepreneurs, understand their pains, see possibilities of collaboration, understand what they have been going through, how it is to settle down here in Chile. Also, there's another Chilean entrepreneurs, so you're going to have those experiences too. Also, we have some exclusive perk deals up to 300,000 American dollars in different deals that you're going to have, and discounts with different services such as Amazon Web Service, HubSpot, Google, Microsoft, and many others that are going to help you finally develop your startup. We have a program that is called Startup for Startups, in which other startups can offer you their services with different discounts, and finally help you to get cheaper deals and develop your startup cheaper. As I said, we offer the soft landing in Chile, the one-year work visa for the whole team and significant others in order to get to Chile, open your bank account, get your all your documents in order to be here and start the program at the same conditions as the Chilean participants. Of course, understanding that once the sanitary and travel conditions permit. I'm going to stop here for a minute and explain you a little bit of what we have done since the pandemic hit us. And in 2019, of course, we were having our programs as usual. The entrepreneurs would come to Chile, we would gather in the co-work, we would have barbecues, we would work, we will have the events, and it was all normal. In March of 2020, we decided to switch and to have our whole acceleration program remotely. We were doing all the meetings, all the mentorships, and all the activities through Zoom or Meets, just as we're having this conversation now. Nothing really changed. Business was done as usual. But now, as things are getting a bit better, at least for the program that started last week, we ask those entrepreneurs to come to Chile. And this is important because once you get accepted to Startup Chile, you're going to sign a contract with Corfo. Corfo is the agency of the Ministry of Economy that has all these fundings, all these opportunities for entrepreneurs. And in that government agency, we as a Startup Chile are focusing on these cool international entrepreneurs that can come to Chile and finally help us get that impact in the economy and help us switching and changing that economic matrix. Right now, borders are open, therefore the entrepreneurs that started last week came to Chile, but we know that things are switching and changing every day. We know that things are getting actually a little bit worse here in Chile. We know what happened in Europe with the winter that just came. So we're trying to be as flexible as possible and seeing the possibilities and understanding that day by day we're going to have new scenarios and we're going to adjust to them. Just to let you know that that's a possibility, and if borders are closed, we will have the program 100% remote. Then one of the main pillars, of course, is the acceleration process itself. In here, depending in the program that you are, but at least for Build and Ignite, is going to be a very intense program. We only have 4 months in order to help you create and enhance your business. Therefore, we're going to be very intense in the collaboration that we do with you. You're going to be assigned a business developer who is sort of going to be the bridge in between the services that we can provide you as a startup Chile and you as a startup. So he's going to be, and he or she, and we like to call it your best friend, but your worst enemy. He or she is going to be your best friend because they are going to be able to provide you with all the services that we can provide you as a startup Chile, but also they're going to be doing the tracking and they're going to be bothering you because we want you to grow and we need you to grow because you're using the government's money, right? Therefore, we like to call them your best friend, but your worst enemy at the same time. In the acceleration process itself, we have different instances, such as the Academy, which is a training program in which you're going to have classes, technical classes every Friday and some workshops in order to get the knowledge to develop your startup and also other learning experiences in order to know how it's to do business here in Chile, maybe get your pitch better, help you in order how to make connections, how to appear in the Chilean press media and many other activities. The sub-boards, which are advisory boards of voluntary mentors that we assign you that are expert in the industry, usually have a ton of experience here in Chile and can help you and guide you with maybe some connections, with feedback about your business, and that you're going to have different meetings with them. And we're going to have, of course, those mentors on demand. They are voluntary mentors and they assign us a few hours per month in order for us to reach those startups and assign those mentors in order to participate in these activities. We also have platoons, which are peer-to-peer monitoring groups of startups from different industries in which you're gonna sit with different founders that maybe have the same pains. Maybe there's someone from another country that can help you a little bit. Maybe someone from Chile that can help you in order to see how business is done here. And finally, you can co-create and help your peers in this process. And finally, pitch training, which is one of the most valuable assets that we have, and we're known here in Startup Chile. We try to help you prepare that 3-minute pitch in order to present your pitch to maybe investors, maybe some other acceleration programs, or just our program in our different events. Also, of course, we have the community. We have different events and experiences, special invitations, either for internal or external events. You're going to have the chance to give back through the community through our Founder Labs activities, such as Maria is going to help us today explaining and showing us her experience. We have that lab that can help us a little bit, and you're going to be able to give back to the community. And finally, we have the connections, which is very important. We have a corporate network of more than 180 corporate partners in which there are companies of all sizes and industries in which you can meet with them, always from the feedback and into business instances. We have the mentor network, as I said. We're going to assign you with a few mentors. I have the on-demand mentors. We have an investing network for more than 100 angel and investors and VC funds. We have an investing manager that can help you set your deck, set your pitch, and have that investing readiness in order to sit down with a VC fund and have all the paper ready, have the house clean, as we call it in the industry, in order to be ready to answer all the questions that the VC is going to have and hopefully get that investment. We also have a global network in terms of different international chances, other accelerators or incubators. That's the network that I manage. I can connect you with different accelerator programs in the world. And we also have an international growth manager that can help you soft land in different places with the help maybe of a Chilean agency called ProChile that interacts with the embassies in other countries or with other stakeholders that might help you in that soft landing in many other markets around the world. And of course, we have the alumni network, as I said, more than 5,000 alumni from over 85 countries in the world. Therefore, we believe in those great ideas that we thrive in LATAM and that we not only thrive in LATAM, but grow from the roots here in Chile, scale to LATAM, and hopefully, and why not, scale to the world. But I just explained you a huge deal. I just told you how cool our program is, but it's pretty interesting to know also how we're funding and how this public policy, which finally gives you free equity money and gives you all these perks and all these activities 100% for free, finally works and has returned and has been lived for the past 10 years. I'll explain you that by telling you that, first of all, Startup Chile has one of the biggest portfolios of startups in the world. We have accelerated more than 2,000 startups. Roughly 73% of them have been foreign and 27% have been Chilean. More than 85 countries have been represented in our portfolio. The main ones, of course, from Chile, but then we have different countries, and the most represented are the US, Argentina, India, Brazil, and we actually have had some from the Czech Republic. Our survival rate is about 46.8%, which might seem low, but it's actually very high. The average survival rate in the industry is only 15%. And a little bit about the impact from our founders. We have sold more than $1 billion globally. We have raised more than $1 billion in capital, and our portfolio valuation is for more than $2 billion, only considering the startups that have raised some capital. We have accelerated 29 ponies, and we have 1 unicorn in our portfolio, and 60 startups have had an exit or has finally been acquired by another company. In order to let you know about our public policy investment, this is really important. We have invested $58 million in different startups from those taxpayers here in Chile, but only from the taxes generated in sales in Chile by the startups that we have accelerated, we have gathered $61 million in taxes. And this might seem confusing, but it's really important because this number tells us that we have a return on investment that is positive only by taking the taxes generated for startups here in Chile. We have to add up for that all the jobs generated, all the talent that we have brought from abroad into Chile in order to get a higher average of entrepreneurs here in Chile, and all the other assets that we can create by this public policy has to be added to that strict and formal data or number that is $61 million. Of course, we have raised more than $1 billion, and just in Chile, we have generated more than $300 million in sales. This is very important. We have generated 22 times the investment made by the startups in capital raised. We have generated 5.5 times the investment in sales only here in Chile. And we have generated 1.5 the expenditure in investment by the taxes generated in Chile, meaning that we have an ROI that is positive. Just to wrap it up, I want to show you a few cool examples of startups that have come to Chile. Of course, this is not uploaded. This is our last presentation, and we have to add Maria's example here, so that's coming up very soon. But just to show you a few examples, we have accelerated Cabify. Maybe you know it. It's the competition of Uber, and it's our first portfolio. It's the first unicorn from our portfolio. We have accelerated Cargo X, which is a logistic company from Brazil that has the highest sales worldwide. Maybe you know Notco is very famous nowadays. They generate through an algorithm all the recipes in order to create milk that is only from vegetables, burgers that are only for vegetables, even ice cream that is only from vegetables, and mayo, for example. And it's the highest investing brand that we have got from our portfolio. Recorrido is a very cool example. This startup was founded by Germans. They had a cool idea. They had a bit of traction. They had a validated prototype, and they came to Chile and tried to start their businesses, offering a marketplace in order to gather all the offer and all the demand of bus travels here in Chile, which might seem like something that already happens in Europe. Maybe you have Flixbus, but here in Chile, it was very old school, we could say. So they had that idea, they developed it, they tried out the Chilean market, and nowadays it's actually the startup for portfolio with the higher sales in Chile. They are very known in southern Chile, and they had good business, and they probably lived in a pretty cool place over there down in Chile. And last but not least, two cool examples of awesome female founders, the Lead Dream Co. She came from India. She had only one idea. She went through our TSF program, pivoted, and then went through our seed program. And now she also has a software that can solutionate the recipe problem from those plant-based different solutions. And actually, she's just developing this cool ice cream that I just tried out last week. She brought us the ice cream to the office and was really, really good. And finally, Beefy Dice, she's from Russia, and it was basically the same journey. She came down to Chile. She also sells ice cream, but she sells it with probiotics, trying to solve that classic problem of probiotics, in which you buy maybe the milk in the supermarket, and then the cold chain is broken, and finally you eat maybe a yogurt or cream or milk that has dead probiotics. So she's trying to solve that, and she has operations here in Chile, in Italy, and Sweden. Again, just to show you when you can apply to Chile, if you want to apply to Startup Chile, we will begin those applications in April 19th, all the way down to May 11th. The results are going to be shown in the 28th of June, and the program will finally start in August. Very important, you're going to be able to apply to all the programs that we offer as a Startup Chile. If you're not sure to which program you can fit the most, because there is a small gray area in between Build and Ignite, you're going to have the possibility to apply to both. Therefore, we're going to do the selection process independently, and we will finally decide for which program you have the better fit, and hopefully you're going to get selected to one or the other program. Also, if you are not a startup, I invite you to recommend a startup. You can go to our website, www.startupchile.org, and you can recommend a startup, and finally we can contact them and invite them to apply. Once again, thank you so much for your time and for listening me. My name is Juan Diego Acuña. I'm the Scouting Manager at Startup Chile, and I'm leaving here my personal email, juandiego@startupchile.org. You can send me all your questions and anything you need in order to apply to Startup Chile. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan Diego. That was very, very good and very informative. We do have a couple of questions, but let's not get to them right now. Let's keep them coming. If you want to ask anything, still feel free to write it down or wait for the Q&A session. It's up to you. You can write it down in Czech, English, or Spanish. And now let's move to Maria Hahn and Nutrix, and let's see what the program is really all about.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here and join the presentation today. I started sharing also my screen. So we are basically a startup that, as Juan showed, we started with Startup Chile with the idea. So by the end of 2019, we had the idea. So basically, how it all started is that I worked for a big corporation, but I always wanted to have my startup, and I joined the MIT bootcamps because I was lacking the idea, and then we finally came up with the idea for Nutrix, and what we are doing is we are developing a non-invasive sensor for glucose monitoring based on saliva. So in 2019, we also presented this idea at the Web Summit, and we won the Web Summit, and this was like a stepping stone in our story. And from that moment, I started to think, okay, like, where do we start, and how we can get to the first product prototype. And looking at different videos, I came up to the Startup Chile website, and then I saw, okay, apply. And this was basically the program for the female founders. So I thought, okay, this is like a double confirmation. It's so nice, you know, like it's my first startup, and it would be great to be surrounded by the female founders. And this is how we applied. And why Chile also, I will tell you why, but yeah, first let's have a look. So we started with the TSF 11. So this was like the old nomenclature from the Startup Chile, but this is like this female factor. And then we started also in a second program. And for us, what was important is that it's one of the top 10 global programs. So this was important for us that, you know, like it's a proven system. It's part of the Chilean Economic Development Agency that is very strongly positioned in Chile, that also gives lots of opportunities, and is like a very big validation once you are in Chile, that helps you to connect with many partners. So this was important for us, and we applied, and you know, like we were very happy once we got the email. Okay, congratulations, Nutrix team, you can join. So this was last year in March, and you know, like to be honest, like I was flying out of Europe with the very last flight, because like in Europe the situation with COVID was really becoming worse and worse, and in Chile the situation was still okay, but my flights were like cancelled. So at the end I bought the ticket from one day to another, because I said like, okay, then I can go. And this is already the picture from the co-work. It's a very beautiful location in the downtown Santiago. And as Juan said, yes, for the moment we all use the masks. And yeah, this was like a, you know, like super happiness for me, because at the beginning of the program we did everything online. Which ended up very nicely, but you know, like it's nothing like being surrounded by other startups and sharing the experience in person. So I included also here a little bit about what we are doing. As I told you, yes, that's the sensor that we are developing. It's the G-Sense, and this is really something that we did thanks to the support of Startup Chile, and also thanks to this non-dilutive grant. So we were able to develop our first product prototype, and make also the first clinical tests. And then this is a product that is designed for the diabetes patients. We also created an ecosystem, and this is the first product that we will be launching in Chile. So why Chile? For us, I used to work in a global role in the product development, and I worked in the from Asia through US, Europe, to Latin America, and I knew that Chile was a great, excellent market that is very open to innovation. And also from the startup point of view, like Nutrix, and we are the medtech startup, it's very important to be able to access the market quickly, and to be able to also make clinical validations quickly. In order to do this, we need also clinical studies. And with my previous experience, Chile was also a very open market in order to set up all the formalities to proceed with those studies. Once we landed in Chile, we also realized that diabetes is a huge problem affecting the country. So, like as we are developing a product for type 2 diabetes patients, we saw that more than 10% of population is affected by diabetes. And also a cost of complications is huge. So there is a massive spending on the complications of those patients. So at the end, those are those three factors that also made us decide to apply, but also to stay in Chile. So for us, it was always the decision, like it's not only that, like we want the grant and then, like, yeah, we go back. No, for us, this was a strategic decision. We came, we wanted to make good partners and stay and launch our product in Chile. And this is what we are currently doing. So here I also wanted to share like some most important points that were for us a great experience during the programs that we did. And as I mentioned, we participated in two programs. So first of all, the non-dilutive funding. This is for the early stage startups. It's a gasoline, no, that helps us grow, that help us to really make our idea into the product and make the first traction. So this was a huge benefit for us. Also, the Startup Chile positioning. As I said, it's a very strong partner, and if you are considering starting in Chile and then expanding to Latin America, you will be able to make great partners. So we connected with the Ministry of Health. We were able to also make the agreement with the Diabetes Association. So all of this came up as a result of being part of Startup Chile. So from one side, we have like this tangible element that is like directly the funding, but from the other side, we have like lots of business development opportunities that are much easier as we are part of Startup Chile. And then also what Juan mentioned, Startup Chile counts also with the excellent network of mentors, and those mentors come from different industries. They might be from the big corporates or from also founders from successful startups, which is also of great help. So this is like also like that you don't need to look for a specific person. Your account manager from Startup Chile will guide you and will help you to reach to the right partner to speed up all the process. So those are the top three. And for us also, like last year, like all of this help us to become the startup that was selected as top picks by TechCrunch. So this was in September last year. And this also gave us a huge exposure. And this was a result of all the work that we did during the acceleration program with Startup Chile. And also we were encouraged by the team from Startup Chile to apply to the Desafíos en Cáncer. So it's like Challenges in Cancer program sponsored by Novartis Chile. Because with our sensor and with the saliva, our long-term vision is to be able to detect different biomarkers that we have in saliva. And this is what we also presented during this program. And we were lucky to win the competition. And this also opened additional doors for us for the long-term vision of the company. So this is a little bit in the nutshell our story. I also wanted to share the link with you. This is the article in Spanish on the website Startup Chilenas, where I also shared a little bit of experience of our journey. And if you would like, I invite you also to have a look at that. And I also leave my contact details. So if you would like to reach out and connect, we would be very happy to get in contact. So I would like to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm very grateful to Startup Chile. Also, just to, like maybe as a summary where we are now. So, like us last year and us today. Last year, we did not have incorporated company. This year, we are incorporated in Basel, Switzerland, and we also have other sister company in Chile. So we have the 2 companies registered. We are getting for the product launch, and we are now closing our funding round. So I think this is a great experience of the acceleration, how, like during the 12 months, you can really get to the next level. So with this, I would like to say thank you to Juan and to the Startup Chile team.
Thank you, Maria, and congratulations. It seems like an amazing journey you are going through and you went through, and amazing products for me as somebody that doesn't understand science, and no, this is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thanks to everyone. Now we have the part called Q&A session. We do have a couple of questions on the side, so some of them might have been already answered. So let's go through a couple of them first. There are a couple of questions about the female founder factor. I believe some of it was already answered later in the presentation after the question was written down. But if Juan Diego, if you want to elaborate a little more about it, feel free to do so.
Yes, for sure. What we identify is that not only with the support at the bottom of the acceleration funnel, it was enough. And we saw that we already helped those female founders at the early stage, but we wanted to continue in the phase of development of the startup. That's why first we eliminated the TSF program from the bottom. We kept a 50% of female founders that we will get accepted in the program, but we created the transversal program that is going to help you in 3 different stages. At the bottom one, in terms of funding, the 50% of the generation is going to be led by female founders. At the Ignite program, the co-funding, because for all the programs you need 10% co-funding, which is basically leverage, as I explained, comparing to the growth program, which is 50%. For the Ignite program, the co-funding for female founders will be 10%, but for male founders will be 20%, making it cheaper and easier for female founders to get to our program. And for males, they're gonna have to leverage a little bit more from their own money or from the sales that they have got in this startup. And transversal to our whole programs, we will help you with specific networks and events from the different services that we can provide. For example, in community, we're going to generate a specific network for female founders in order to help them and connect with female alumni, for example, and creating conversation circles that we will lead further females leaders in order to have a bigger impact. In terms of talent, we're going to offer special coaching of leadership from female to female, of course. In terms of academy, we're going to have gender parity. So we're going to have the same number of female talks than from male talks. Of course, understanding that this might not happen because of the availability of those speakers, but we're trying to get there. In terms of the acceleration, we're going to have special events and special platoons only focused for the females founders in order to identify those gaps in the market and, of course, try to solve them and attack them. In terms of the ecosystem, we're having special mentors that are female mentors that are going to help female founders in all these specific tasks and specific pains that can be identified in the market. And in terms of media, which is a bit more, a bit of marketing or more of a look part, but of course we want to help here also, and we're going to have gender parity in the media exposure. So we're going to set ourselves the task of, for example, when we help startups being in the newspaper or being in our media, we're going to have that gender parity, of course. I don't know if that answers the question enough.
Hopefully, if not, we can still have additional questions. Mr. Ambassador, you raised your hand. Wanted to add something?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It's just a comment that I would like to build on what Diego and Maria said. But I think this is very important to get a little bit clarified. It is concerning the access that Chile gives you to the rest of Latin America and the world. It's yes, per se, Chile is a small market, right? It's 18 million people, but we have a trade agreement with 58 countries around the world, main economies, United States, Canada, all Latin America, China, European Union, you name it. I mean, so if you are planning to scale up, you have a business or a product or a service that is solving or oriented to a global challenge, there you have a platform that will open a huge market of almost 60% of global GDP. Thank you.
Thank you for that note.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and maybe just, like to build on this, especially for the software companies. I did not mention this in my presentation, but the Spanish language is extremely important. So for us, this was also like a very strategic decision, because when you are in Europe, every single country has its own regulation, even though we are in European Union, but there are so many different languages. In Switzerland, we have 4 official languages, and it's such a small country. So the possibility of building the software in one version for the startup is a huge benefit, to leverage also to the other markets. And in terms of those agreements, for me, this was also like the first time when we talked in Chile with someone, I was still with the mindset from Europe. And I did not think about all the commercial agreements that you benefit once you are in Chile, because I was thinking like going to Brazil from Europe is very difficult, and you have like lots of taxes and protection from Brazil. But once you are in Chile, it's a different way.
Thank you, Maria, for clarifying or for explaining this part. Thank you. So another question, Eva is asking, hi, as a female interested in build program, do you provide or help with accommodation in Chile? Thank you.
Yes and no. Two things over there. First, we're going to help you in the whole process of getting here in Chile with the self-landing process. And also, you're going to be able to execute part of your fund for accommodations, at least before you create your company here in Chile. Once you create your company here in Chile, you're going to be able to pay yourself a salary. And we're going to help you in the process, and we're going to gather you with the other entrepreneurs that will come to Chile. But as again, we're a public policy, we will not suggest the specific places because basically we can't. But maybe Maria has a better understanding from experience of how it was to come to Chile, find accommodations, and see finally where to stay in the different parts of the city. It's still a big city. Santiago has 8 million people, so it might be a bit confusing before getting there. But maybe Maria knows a bit better.
Yes, no, but it's such a beautiful city, and like the sunsets are amazing. So, like I would strongly recommend, and there are plenty of very nice apartments. The good point of the grant is that you can also design, dedicate part of the grant for the apartment. So you have the support for this also. It's up to the startup now how you redistribute your grant, but there is a possibility. So no, it's there are plenty of nice apartments. It's such a beautiful city. So no, I encourage you, Eva, to apply, and maybe like we meet in Santiago.
Thanks to both of you. Very insightful. Missing those sunsets that we could have all enjoyed in different cities around the world. Maybe another technical question. Are these programs open to startups where there are two founders, one Chilean currently living in the Czech Republic and one Czech citizen?
Yes, of course. We're again agnostic to nationality and to industry, and actually we're looking for startups with cool teams. And if teams have different co-founders with different experiences and different backgrounds, that might be something that would be seen in the application as a positive sign.
Cool, thank you. I think that answers it. And Mr. Ambassador asked about the English and Spanish thing. We sort of touched on it, so I guess that's been more or less answered. If you want to add something, feel free to. I'm gonna search for another question in the meantime. Yes, Matosh is asking if yeah, it was already mentioned a little bit, but the if the applications when the applications open and you described, I believe, the first one, but the second application date, I kind of missed that one too.
Yeah, no problem. We will open applications on April 19th. They're going to be open for the 3 programs for 3 or 4 weeks. And the form, it's pretty simple. It's a bit long, but it's pretty simple to fulfill. We ask for general information about the founders, their background, a little bit about this startup in terms of what problem they solve, how they solve that problem, how they use technology to leverage and solve this program and create a scalability, what are the different competitors that you have identified, and a few other questions in order for us to identify those cool startups that know the market, identify an interesting solution to fix, and have the experience in order to fulfill that goal. But yeah, again, we have 2 cohorts per year. The first one already started. The second one will open the 19th of April, and that program will start in August. And then the next generation will probably begin applications in November in order to start the program next year in 2022.
Perfect, thank you. And now to everyone connected, if you do have a question, please feel free to click the raise your hand function or turn on your mic and introduce yourself and ask the question, whatever works for you better. If there are any questions from the public. People are shy today, or they just heard everything they needed to. And I see Vanda. Feel free to go ahead, turn on your mic and ask.
Hello, thank you very much. I will show myself as well.
Hey.
It works. Yeah, hi. I'm in the car, but I wanted really to listen to all discussion. Thank you very much for that. I am founder of Twixy, which is the online management platform that connects parents with their kindergarten, as well as we are solving almost all of their administrative agendas. Currently, I'm from the Czech Republic. We are serving in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and we are expanding this year to a variety of countries because our project is international. The software is very universal, and the needs of parents and teachers and kindergarten managements are all around the world very same and very close. And what I am curious is that I will be traveling to Singapore in 2 months. Hopefully it will work considering COVID, but I would be there for 3 months for some acceleration program with Czech Invest. And the second plan for our roadmap is Latin America. We are talking already with some potential partners in Mexico and in some other countries. And I'm definitely interested in this program as well. My only thing is that I am also a mom of a 5-year-old son, and I am interested whether it's possible to bring a family all together, because it's a couple of months, and I can travel for a couple of weeks, but not for a couple of months, like without my son, obviously, and I don't want to. So whether this is something that is just solely up to us, and we can find some kindergarten, let's say, or some schools local, and whether it's possible or supported also by the program. What are the options?
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, for sure. First, congratulations for the solution. Seems like a very interesting startup. I think there's definitely space in the market, at least in Latin America, because many of those industries that might have a digital solution in other markets are not fixed yet in markets like Latin America. And that might seem like a very interesting thing to do. In terms of how we can help you with that, the visa that we can help you get, that maybe the ambassador will help you to get, will be for you and for your significant others. So that means that you can travel with your children and with your family. Once you're here, you're gonna be able to use the fund in different things, but sadly, you cannot apply the fund for expending for things that are not related to your business. Obviously, understanding that you can use the fund to pay yourself a salary. Therefore, and hopefully that salary can be enough in order to pay yourself for your living here and your son.
Well, thank you very much for the answer. It's awesome, and if I may, if somebody is interested in talking maybe closely about this topic, I'm definitely interested talking to you guys about potential of EdTech, or if you have someone with a kindergarten who would like to free piloting our software, we are definitely very happy to give you the application. So just do not hesitate to contact me, because this is exactly the stage that we are right now at. We are piloting the concrete kindergartens in some concrete countries, and we giving them all software, mobile applications, desktop application for free, just in exchange of information about the market fit. And I have to say that it's already in 7 languages, including Spanish. So it's in English, Spanish. So it would be hopefully viable for the local market as well. So I will be very happy to share you more details, or even the technology to pilot with you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. I just left my email again there in the chat. If you have any questions, just email me directly and we can see how it goes from there.
Yes, we will share the contacts and the presentations later. Thank you, Wanda, for the question, and good luck in Singapore and around the world, hopefully in Chile soon as well. You are now in very capable hands of our colleagues at Czech Invest. I used to help with that program, the Czech Accelerator too. So I hope that you are gonna have an awesome experience there, and hopefully that it's gonna work. Everything's gonna work out travel-wise with your current restrictions and everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. We still have space for a couple of questions. If my colleagues or whoever else is connected want to ask, feel free to. I know that we received a lot of information, so even if you do not have a question right now, as I mentioned, we are going to share the contact details later, so you will be able to ask us even after the event is over, so no worries there. I had a couple of questions, but most of them have been answered actually. And I don't see any hands being raised. So maybe I will ask Maria at this point. You talked about it in your presentations, how the Startup Chile help you, but you know, if you were at the start point a year ago, or maybe more than a year ago, when you decided to go to Chile, could you imagine now doing it without Startup Chile? How different and more difficult it would be to doing it without them?
I think much more difficult, because you know, like maybe I will add a new perspective also that I did not mention. So you know, like we joined also accelerator program in Switzerland, in Basel, but this was, you know, like for the precision medicine. This was really focused on this health startups, and for us, you know, like it was an eye-opening being part of Startup Chile, because then it's so diverse, you know, like I really love, you know, like what Juan said about, you know, like diversity of the founders, diversity of the cultures, the female founder, but then you also have like diversity in terms of different startups, no, that they all come from different sectors. They are doing the software, you know, like hardware. It's always this technical component, but they are from different industries, and this also help us a lot, because you know, like we open our eyes, no, like we realize, you know, like the traction that we will need to present also to the investors, which is different when, you know, like when maybe you are surrounded just, you know, like with the startups that are coming from exactly the same industry. So this is also a big learning, not only from, you know, like from the Startup Chile, but also from the colleagues that are coming. So this helps greatly, though, like this diversity and the possibility to collaborate with other startups. So yeah, it's, you know, like very difficult to imagine not going through the program, because like it also marks, you know, like I think for the first time start founders, it also marks, you know, like a very good rhythm, you know, like it's called acceleration. And yes, you know, like there are different events as Juan presented, and you know, like all this helps you and your team to go faster and to deliver better results.
Thank you very much, Maria, for that perspective. Always appreciate it to hear from somebody that went through the program and can share their views. So if there are no other questions, we were thinking a little bit about, you know, this online platform going on. I'm not sure if every single one of you listening right now have a webcam, or if you want to, but I would encourage you to, if you do have a webcam, to turn it on for a minute, and we would take a nice so-called family picture of the screen, so that we do have something to remember. Most of us will be probably very small. We will try different modes to see how many people we can actually get in one screen, but it seems like our colleagues at Microsoft did it at least in a way that a lot of us can. I'm gonna give more of you a chance to turn on the cam, and after that we are gonna hit the button and take a pic. So some of us are shy, I see, but it doesn't matter. We are gonna try to make the most of it. I hope I'm gonna try to hit the bottom now. And we will see how that goes. We are gonna share it with the rest of the materials. So to conclude, thank you again. Thank you for making the time and connect. I want to thank our speakers because without Juan Diego and Maria, it wouldn't be the event that it was. Of course, I want to thank Mr. Ambassador and his team at the embassy here in Prague for their work on the event, and also to my dear colleague Linda, who put a lot of work into it and made it the event that it was today, and to all of you. If you do have any questions later on, as I mentioned, we will share the details and we will share presentations. So feel free to turn to us or to our colleagues directly. And good luck with your hopefully good luck with your expansion to Latin America and to Chile and anywhere else in the world. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye to all.